Here we go again. I mean, this is the truth show, and there's more. Oh, I'm not done yet. Oh, and there's more. Oh, I'm not done yet. I mean, this is the truth show. Oh, yes.
Hello, 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 hello. Just waiting for how y'all doing? How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Let's see. What do I want for the back? How's everyone year going so far? How's the holiday coming? I know a lot of you are probably with family, out of town. What's everybody doing? What is everybody doing? You guys can hear me. I hope so. I hope so. Let's see. But anyway, welcome to the Truth Show. Welcome to the Truth Show. I am Keisha, your host. And today we are talking about a plethora of things. So I hope you guys are sitting back, chilling, ready for some politics, some royal family, some Diddy talk. Oh yeah, we talking about it all, honey. We sure are. So again, hello, my truth seekers. Welcome to the Truth Show. This is Keisha. In this video, I'll be talking about Trump's latest antics. Then we'll talk about Diddy the Reckoning, which seems to be still trending. And I think I watched it 4 or 5 days ago with my daughter. And I'm so proud of 50 Cent, even though I would never date him in a million years. And I'm sure I'm not his type anyway, because he scares me. I don't know why. I think it's because he's so big, but he's a very handsome, sexy man. Just, can't. Why am I even talking about that? Never mind. We'll also be talking about the royal family, Rob Reiner, and his wife's death. So tragic. And Trump responds to that. I'm sure you probably heard it all over social media, but we're going to talk about it again. And the fake Jesus Shroud, if we have time to do that, and amongst other things we're going to be talking about. With that said, here are your warnings.
Please note that this is all alleged. I've never met any of these people. I've deeply researched all of my information. This is a trigger warning. In this video, I may be talking about or showing sensitive material about some subjects or topics that may be disturbing or upsetting or may bring forth some troubling memories, as you read in the description or title. With that said, either end the video now or brace yourself. Aside from that, enjoy.
Yeah, I'm going to make this really simplified. I'm going to be really simple with this breakdown with Trump. I'm not going to get on to technical terms and, you know, confusing most of you. But apparently, Trump approval ratings just seriously descended downward after the longest government shutdown in U.S. history, with most polls showing him in the mid 30s to low 40s approval rating. I did like a miniature short video describing all of that. I'm sure you guys saw that. And disapproval about 55%. He's also facing fresh controversy after House Democrats released photos linking him to Jeffrey Epstein's estate, which the White House dismissed as a Democratic hoax. They always blame stuff on the Democrats. That's where anything that comes out about this cockamamie man, he say, "Oh, it's the Democrats. It's the Democrats." When is he going to take ownership of his own faults? Because leave it up to Trump. He does nothing wrong. He's the king of all kings and gods of all gods. And that's literally how he likes to fucking keep it. He is so freaking delusional. Seriously. Freaking believable. There is a link to anyone who wants to come up and do a whatever. Co-host is completely fine with me. I don't really care. Make sure you guys share. Okay? Share. Okay. All right, folks. Let's talk about what's happening with the Trumpster. That's going to be my new nickname for him. I'm going to call him the Trumpster. So let's talk about what's happening with the Trumpster. Okay. See, as I stated, the numbers are in. Okay. And we already talked about his approval rating, basically around 36 to 45%, with 55, 62%, or 62% of the country not liking his crazy psycho ass. And then, as I stated, more than half of the country isn't happy with how he's running things. Why? The 43-day government shutdown last month was crazy. A lot of people filed bankruptcy. It was pretty crazy. It was the longest shutdown in history, and it's the second shutdown from his last term, because it was a government shutdown the last term as well, because he's a money-spending psychopath, and he thinks just because he's in the White House, there's no limit. And remember, he thinks he's the kings of our kings and gods of our gods, and we should just follow his lead because he is seriously delusional. So that government shutdown left a bad taste in people's mouth, and people blame him and the Congress for failing to agree on funding, which I don't even know why it should be in a freaking agreement. You either want poverty or a bunch of dead, sick people, or you don't. It's really that freaking simple. I don't understand why the disagreement was. Seriously. Okay. And we got point to the suburban support. Okay. Polls show Trump is losing support in suburbs where approval dropped sharply in December, like this year. In translation, the swing voters he needs are walking away. It's, I have to say, this is not so much as the swing votes that are walking away. We are seeing the reality of what was already there, but now it's coming to the forefront because he didn't get those votes anyway. I don't know why we're consistently being delusional, thinking he got those votes when we know he didn't. I mean, seriously, let's be realistic here, okay? Just being honest here. He never got those votes, and that's what it is. And point 3 here. We already got the point 1 and point 2. We're going to talk about the controversy with Epstein photos. House Democrats released new photos with Jeffrey Epstein estate showing Trump among other powerful figures. Yeah. But of course, he denied that as well and said it wasn't him. Why are we trying to blackmail him? You know how he talks. I mean, the man is seriously delusional, for real. So, of course, the White House fired back. They fired back, calling it cherry picked and hoax, like the pictures are false. They are manipulated, AI generated, whatever lie he can concoct. That's basically what he said. I'm going to be real with you. That's literally what he said. And if anyone believes that, they're freaking stupid. So in translation, it's messy. Whether or not the photos prove anything, the headlines alone stir doubt. Let's be realistic here. Here are some videos, and then we'll talk.
Photos of Jeffrey Epstein and his then friend, now President Donald Trump, were released today. Here is one of Trump and Epstein speaking with a woman out and about at some event. There's this one of Trump and 6 females whose faces are all blurred out, and all of the females are wearing some kind of Hawaiian lei. And there's this one of Trump with a blonde female. Her face is blurred out on what appears to be an airplane. Now, I'm going to talk about these blurred faces in just a second. But first, all of these photos came from the Epstein estate and were released this morning by the Democrats on the House Oversight Committee as part of their investigation into the Epstein files. Now, the Epstein estate says all of the photos came from Epstein's email account and computer. But there really is no rhyme or reason to what these photographs mean. There is no context. We don't know when or where these photos were taken or why Epstein had them. But those 3 images with Trump were not all that we saw today. There are actually a total of 19 photos that were released. Some I can't show you, but I can share these. This is former President Bill Clinton along with Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell up and about at some kind of event. You can see Bill Clinton has signed the top of the photograph. There's not one, but two images of Jeffrey Epstein and director Woody Allen. You can see him here too in this photo with a female whose face is blurred out. And there's not one, but two images of Jeffrey Epstein alongside former Trump advisor Steve Bannon. Epstein doesn't appear in either of these, but there are two photos of billionaire Bill Gates. This one includes former Prince Andrew, who is a known friend of Ghislaine Maxwell. There's one of Epstein with former Treasury Secretary Larry Summers, and Epstein on some beach with billionaire Richard Branson. And then there's this one with a bowl filled with maybe fake condoms that says Trump condom $4.50 with now President Trump's face on it with the writing, "I'm huge!" exclamation point. Now, here's the thing. These images are just the tip of the iceberg. The Democrats on the committee say they've received 95,000 photographs from the Epstein estate, and they've only been able to go through a portion of them so far. The ranking member says what he has seen and has not yet released is disturbing. Democrats say the other images that have not yet been released include thousands of photographs of women and Epstein properties. They say more will be released in the coming days and weeks. Oversight ranking member Representative Robert Garcia said of today's released photos, it is time to end this White House cover-up and bring justice to the survivors of Jeffrey Epstein and his powerful friends. These disturbing photos raise even more questions about Epstein and his relationships with some of the most powerful men in the world. We will not rest until the American people get the truth. The Department of Justice must release all the files now. Now, I want to talk about these blurred faces for a second, because these are the images that were released in the batch today that include Epstein and some other man, either Trump or Woody Allen, alongside females that have their faces blurred out. Now, the House Oversight Democrats say in their statement about these photos that they are committed to protecting the identities of Epstein victims. So there are other women included in the photographs today whose faces are not blurred, but these are. So it is possible that these are indeed Epstein victims. I should also mention there is one other image released today that includes faces that are blurred out, and it is of what appears to be a picture wall in some kind of office or home, and you can see several females whose faces are blurred out. Republicans and the White House have blasted the Democrats for releasing these photos, saying they are cherry-picking photos with random redactions to try and create a false narrative. It's also important to know that the White House did not deny that these photos are indeed real.
They really didn't.
Next week is a very big week because the Epstein Transparency Act that President Trump signed into law last month says the Department of Justice must release the full Epstein files publicly no later than 1 week from today, December 19th. So if you want to see all the photos released by the Oversight Democrats today, including the ones I can't show you here online, I will email them all out to you tonight in my Fax Issue email, so make sure you sign yourself up.
You never denied they were real or fake. Now, this particular clip is of it's about an old allegation where he was accused of raping a young girl. I don't know if you guys remember that. I think I want to bring this back to the forefront because I think this is a really important thing we need to discuss, because our president, there's so much ample body evidence of him being this vile and rapist. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to go ahead and, talk about that.
Okay, so I was in the Internet Archives last night, as I often am, and I came across an article from 2008 surrounding a Super Bowl party that was hosted by Donald Trump in Scottsdale, Arizona. And this article and this reporting has virtually been buried, but at the time when this happened, it was well reported on. So in 2008, Donald Trump hosted a Super Bowl party in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it was a promotional party for his failed Trump vodka. There were a lot of different celebrities in attendance, including the Kardashian sisters. And for this party, Donald Trump hired multiple different models to be hostesses for this event. Some of these models were Trump models, other were models who were local to Arizona, as this party was taking place in Scottsdale, Arizona. One of the models who Donald Trump hired to be a hostess at his event to promote his vodka was a 17-year-old girl named Chanel Hallett. And for this event, Donald Trump wanted these models who are working as hostesses to be fully nude and only wear body paint. And that is what happened. The models who were hostesses walked around fully nude, only in body paint with different Trump logos on their body, including the 17-year-old girl, Chanel Hallett. And I have obviously censored these even more than they've been already censored. So at this celebrity-studded event, Donald Trump had a 17-year-old girl in 2008 walking around completely nude, covered in body paint of his name and logo. And like I said, I had never heard about this situation, but when it happened, it was decently well reported. When this information became publicly known, Donald Trump made a statement to the media, basically calling this 17-year-old teenager a publicity WHORE. And then he went on to say that this 17-year-old who was hired and wearing body paint and his logo and serving his vodka was someone who crashed the party. So Donald Trump's response to having a nude 17-year-old at one of his parties serving vodka to his celebrity-studded guest list was that she had just crashed the party and wanted attention, even though she was clearly there doing a job she was hired to do. There was even a point where the media tried to paint the situation as this 17-year-old girl was a super fan of Donald Trump, crashed his party, put her body in the same body paint that all the other model hostesses were wearing, and began serving vodka to Donald Trump and his guests. And remember, this is back in 2008. It's the same year that Donald Trump's former BFF, Jeffrey, began serving his sentence in his sweetheart deal. And I say serving his sentence very loosely, for crimes that involved the likes of teenagers. I just think this should have been a bigger deal, because what happened here seems very obvious, and the fact that the media just accepted those excuses that he made is insane to me. So anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you guys because I'd never heard of this, so I thought that maybe some of y'all hadn't either, and I thought it would be a good idea to share.
I never heard of it either, so I'm glad you did share it because I had no idea. And I've done bios about Donald Trump, and I've never heard of this story. Never heard about some young girl walking around this house butt naked with body paint. That is definitely something new to me. Sick fucker. I mean, the man is sick, seriously. I mean, how much proof do you guys need, for real? How much proof? Point 4, his public image in media. Even pop culture is weighing in on Saturday Night Live recently. Lampoon Trump in a cold open. In translation, he's not just in the news, he's in the jokes, which shapes public perception. Which means everyone is talking about him because he is embarrassing us. He's breaking us. He's making America that was the dreamland come here and it hopes and dreams to come true to a mockery, a laughing stock. And what's crazy is that we know the election was rigged and they can have them, all of them, seriously kicked out of the White House, and everything that he ignited and designated and written in terms of law, whatever, can be thrown out due to the rigging of the election. It can be voided. But they're not even trying to, they're trying to impeach this fucker. He already fired most of the federal employees, so it could be hard to not fire, but impeach him. He did that shit on purpose. The only option, I believe, is to get the evidence to say the election was rigged. I know it's hard to investigate that and bring Apple on the evidence, but come on now. You guys are supposed to be college scholars and amazing and intelligent people. I'm sure y'all can concoct something. Do it right now so we can all have a beautiful new year. If you celebrate your New Year's in January. I don't celebrate mine in January. I celebrate mine in like April 1st or something like that because that's where the original New Year's is. The Egyptians celebrated around that time. Anyway, but that's a whole nother video, whole nother subject. But here are some clips of SNL mocking Trump. Let's have a good laugh on his expense.
Military is gay as hell. I'm not just talking about the Navy. We're now at war with Venezuela. All you nerds are like, wait, but was there an official declaration of war? Yeah, it's right here.
The president has designated these as terror organizations, poisoning and threatening the American people, making them a target just like Al-Qaeda.
Is there any truth to the allegations that after an initial strike on a drug smuggling boat, you ordered a second strike to kill the survivors? First of all, that kind of cruel, heartless act has no place in Operation Kill Everybody.
I don't know where you get your sources, but they suck.
Oh, fuck.
Of course not. Anybody that's been in the situation room or been in the war room there, secretary's office, no, you don't walk in and say, kill them. It's just patently ridiculous.
Well, to answer your question, I was just playing Army. Would there be 80 dead fishermen, narco-terrorists in Venezuela right now?
What people think is cavalier or cowboy about it is the exact opposite. These are the most professional Americans going through specific processes about what they can and cannot do.
President Trump has my back 100%. You want to know why? Because unlike you beta cucks, he's a high-energy alpha who trusts me and listens to me no matter what. Isn't that right, Mr. President?
That's literally how they be sounding like.
But this war is going on, and the president is trying to end it. Not because, listen, we had a million things to focus on in the world at the time.
They have a million things to focus on in the world at the current moment.
Our military.
The man is losing it.
President Trump has my back 100%. You want to know why? Because unlike you beta cucks, he's a high-energy alpha who trusts me and listens to me no matter what. Isn't that right, Mr. President?
Stop, Mom Downey.
Hi.
You can freeze my red anytime. I wasn't sleeping. I'm very much awake. Now, someone quickly tell me, where am I? Who am I? And what year might it be?
Good one, Mr. President. Everything you do that's weird is a joke. Just telling everyone here that I have your full support.
Absolutely. We love Pete. He's a great guy. It's just fog of war, right? Fog of war. It's a thing you only say after doing war crime. Right? You never hear a general go, everything went according to plan in fog of war. It's like when you go into the sauna at Equinox and suddenly you're doing stuff you never did before. Fog of war, we love it. It's a great new excuse. We love it. So I stand by Pete. And nothing can change my mind, unless, of course, it could hurt me in any way, in which case I'll throw him under one of Mom Downey's free buses. Question.
Yes, Mr. President. More Americans, including your own voters, now blame you for the affordability crisis. What's your message to them?
He fell asleep good.
Sleeping. We got to get him to another MRI before he wakes up.
Oh my gosh.
I know you have questions for the president, but it's very late. He's exhausted. His brain is all over the place. So unfortunately, he can't wait to talk to you.
Okay.
Your favorite president. Hiding behind my curtain. Ooh, peek behind the curtain was something I enjoyed doing at Miss Teen USA in 1997. Ready to talk. And, you know, this is exciting. Tonight I took both an Ambien and an Adderall, so we're going to see which one wins.
So just a few questions, please.
Please. Oh, how great is Caroline Levitt? We love her. Oh, she's got a beautiful face. And those lips that don't quench.
This is your president. I'm telling you, this is your president. This is hilarious. Oh my God. Oh my God. That was funny. Okay. And then the mockery and his whatever insaneness, it continues. On Truth Social, it was a post delete on Instagram about many hours ago. Eric Trump accidentally leaked a draft on Truth Social post from Trump about the flooding in Washington state that destroyed countless homes. Devastating. Trump still hasn't posted about the flooding, but had time to repost praise about his tariffs, attack migrants, and threaten Illinois Republicans. Here's a draft post that Trump still hasn't sent out. The state of Washington has been hit by unprecedented severe storms, flooding, landslides, and mudslides. Earlier today, to protect the great people of Washington, I approve immediate disaster declaration emergency protection measures and direct federal assistance to save lives. The federal government has deployed resources, and our thoughts and prayers are with everyone affected. Thank you for your attention to this matter. This what he should have put out. But the Trumpster doesn't give a damn about the flood or any other natural disaster. It bores him. He much rather talk about his embellished achievements and non-existent triumphs and himself, because he's a grade A narcissist psychopath. And I don't know how many times we have to pretty much said that. I believe when Kamala was first elected, I cried on live and I told you guys things were going to get bad because I knew that from my own gift. And most of you ignore me and call me every name but the child of gods and goddesses. That's y'all freaking fault right now. I hope now you see that I was telling the truth, that everything that I was saying was the truth. Just want to point that out. And yes, I'm bragging. So the key takeaway for this whole debacle, here's the bottom line. Trump approval rating is sinking, especially after the shutdown. He's losing suburban voters, and now he's caught up in a fresh controversy with those damn Epstein photos. Whether you support him or not, the numbers show he's facing serious headwinds heading into the new year, if he even make it to the new year. I'm just saying, we don't know. Still a possibility of other things, right? Just saying, take a look at this. This is what I posted on my short video and recap of his numbers.
All right, folks, let's break down what's happening with the Trumpster right now. The numbers are in and they're not looking good. Latest polls put Trump's approval between 35 and 45%, with disapproval climbing above 60%. In translation, more than half the country isn't happy with how he's running things. Why? The longest government shutdown in U.S. history just ended last month. 43 days of gridlock. Then we have people are blaming him and Congress for failing to agree on funding. Polls also show Trump is losing suburban voters, with approval dropping by double digits since September. In translation, the swing voters he needs are walking away. Then we have Epstein photo controversy. Whereas the House Democrats released new photos from Epstein's estate, showing Trump among other powerful figures. The White House fired back, calling it cherry-picked and a hoax. Do you think it's a hoax?
Yeah, that's the video I concocted with basically what I just told you guys, okay? Now let's talk about some royal news here. Now, listen, watchers, okay? Let's talk about the Crown's Christmas, because, you know, they're famous with their Christmas shenanigan here. So the Christmas and the courage, because the royals are making headlines this week. Point one, King Charles cancer update. King Charles recorded a video message for the stand-up to cancer campaign. He stressed the importance of the early screening and shared his own journey. Yes, in translation, the king is turning his personal struggle into public advocacy. Yes, that's what he's doing. So let's go in here. The king and his very interesting accent. I haven't really heard him talk too much, but it's nice and interesting to hear his very deep British accent. Let's take a look, please.
This is a season when our thoughts turn to celebrations with our friends and families. In the midst of this festive period, I just wanted to ask you to join me today in finding a special place in your hearts and your minds and prayers for the hundreds of thousands of people across our United Kingdom who receive a cancer diagnosis each year, and for the millions more who love and care for them. I know from my own experience that a cancer diagnosis can feel overwhelming. Yet I also know that early detection is the key that can transform treatment journeys, giving invaluable time to medical teams and to their patients the precious gift of hope. These are gifts we can all help deliver. Throughout my own cancer journey, I've been profoundly moved by what I can only call the community of care that surrounds every cancer patient, the specialists, the nurses, researchers, and volunteers who work tirelessly to save and improve lives.
But I have also learned something that troubles me deeply. At least 9 million people in our country are not up to date with the cancer screenings available to them. That is at least 9 million opportunities for early diagnosis being missed. The statistics speak with stark clarity. To take just one example, when bowel cancer is caught at the earliest stage, around 9 in 10 people survive for at least 5 years. When diagnosed late, that falls to just 1 in 10. Early diagnosis quite simply saves lives. Now, I've heard this message repeatedly during my visits to cancer centers across the country. I know too what a difference it has made in my own case, enabling me to continue leading a full and active life, even while undergoing treatment. Indeed, today I am able to share with you the good news that thanks to early diagnosis, effective intervention, and adherence to doctors' orders, my own schedule of cancer treatment can be reduced in the new year. This milestone is both a personal blessing and a testimony to the remarkable advances that have been made in cancer care in recent years. Testimony that I hope may give encouragement to the 50% of us who will be diagnosed with the illness at some point in our lives. Yet, too often, I'm told people avoid screening because they imagine it may be frightening, embarrassing, or uncomfortable. Even when they do finally take up their invitation, they are glad they took part. A few moments of minor inconvenience are a small price to pay for the reassurance that comes from most people when they are either told they don't need further tests or, for some, are given the chance to enable early detection with the life-saving intervention that can follow. This is why I'm so encouraged to learn about the new national screening checker that is available online. This simple tool allows you to check whether you are eligible for breast, bowel, or cervical cancer screening. It demystifies the process, answers your questions, and guides you towards taking that crucial step. As I have observed before, the darkest moments of illness can be illuminated by the greatest compassion. But compassion must be paired with action. This December, as we gather to reflect on the year past, I pray that we could each pledge, as part of our resolutions for the year ahead, to play our part in helping to catch cancer early. Your life, or the life of someone you love, may depend upon it. Therefore, this brings my most heartfelt thanks to the doctors, nurses, researchers, and charity workers involved in diagnosis and treatment programs, together with my particular good wishes to those for whom they care so selflessly.
So well spoken.
It's been a little while since we've gotten an update on King Charles III's cancer treatment, but yesterday we got the news that there would be a big announcement coming from the king in a pre-recorded message, which has now been dropped. This was recorded last month at Clarence House. In the video address, King Charles shares that he will undergo significantly less treatment next year. It's not a groundbreaking reveal. In fact, it is very neutral, but I think it was timed perfectly because there have been some pretty troubling reports in the media lately suggesting that this might be Charles' last Christmas. I can't make this up. This was a real cover story from Us Magazine, and I think the point of it was to drive home some more BS about Harry and Meghan. But a source did tell the outlet that Charles doesn't know how much time he has left. This could be his last Christmas. That does echo statements we've gotten in the past from palace sources. Nothing on record, of course, but there have been people willing to talk about the fact that though we don't know what type of cancer Charles has, nor how severe it is, he might not die from the disease, but he will certainly die with the disease. In short, saying it's maybe not terminal, but it is never going to be in remission. Against that backdrop and the unprecedented way that the palace has already handled Charles' cancer diagnosis, I think the announcement today was very, very well done. Again, even though we still don't know what type of cancer Charles has, which I think is so intentional and smart.
Because he don't even have cancer.
Keep the coverage tame. Like, you don't want media personalities on air like dissecting a life expectancy, showing diagrams of the body related to that type of cancer. Like, they just don't want that. Actually, this is just the latest update we've gotten from the palace directly about where Charles is in his treatment journey. Earlier this summer, we were told that his treatment was progressing well, and he has slowly ramped up his engagements since being diagnosed last year. I think it was February 2024. He is even back to international travels, which, like, I think the record there speaks for itself, right? This is a man in his late 70s, but he is still able to do the work he has waited his whole life to do. And I do think that announcing, what was the exact wording? That his treatment will enter a precautionary phase. While it's not a major milestone, it's not a usual one to share. Like, usually I think you would wait until you are firmly in remission. That is, of course, what Catherine, Princess of Wales did. No, I think there was an understanding like, okay, we need to update people once again so that the coverage and speculation doesn't reach a fever pitch again. And so Charles can go have a nice holiday. The royals love their weeks-long holiday break. It's never going to go away. If he wants time off, he cannot leave the question of where he is in his cancer treatment journey open-ended. Something else I really liked about this announcement is that it wasn't all focused on Charles himself. His address was part of a campaign by Stand Up to Cancer, and it highlighted a cause spearheaded by Cancer Research UK. That is an organization that Charles has worked closely with since his own diagnosis, a very smart patronage tie-in. Specifically, he is raising awareness about a new screening tool that Cancer Research UK is launching. In his address, he encouraged people to check out that new national screening service, which was launched just this month. It helps you determine whether you are eligible for screening for breast, bowel, or cervical cancer. In general, he just shared really thought-provoking statistics, including the fact that 50% of people will be diagnosed with cancer at some point in their lives. 9 million people in the UK are not up to date with their cancer screenings. And I will actually tell you my personal bias with this. I underwent genetic screenings for a predisposition to pancreatic cancer last year because my father died of it when I was a baby. He was 23 years old. As a result, I never got to know him, and I grew up kind of wondering what had caused this in somebody so young. In the US, the screening process and early detection tools are obviously very different than they are in the UK, but they are starting to be covered more widely by insurance companies because the technology is advancing and getting more accessible. I was cleared of all of the genetic factors that could predispose me to pancreatic, and I think breast cancer was also included in that screening, which was a huge weight off of my shoulders. Obviously, everyone's own circumstances are going to be different, but just get your screenings done. If you see something weird, look into it. Process can be a headache and a hassle, but you might be surprised at what resources are available to you. So it's very encouraging to hear this news from King Charles today, and I am wishing him the best of luck on his continued recovery journey.
She has literally became a royal family guru. She makes a living out of this. I mean, seriously, she lives and breathes the royal family. She made a living out of talking about the royal family. You have to commend her on her dedication. I, unfortunately, have to hire lawyers and hackers and stuff just to get people off my ass. So, good for her. Moving right along. Okay, so as we have saw in these videos, He's still claiming cancer, although he showed no signs of cancer. He has not lost weight. It looks like he gained weight. His hair is still the same as it always have been. Partially lost it at the top there. I don't even see any signs of cancer. This must be the easiest, simplest, whatever kind of cancer that have ever been concocted, because I don't see any signs of cancer at all. I'm going to be real with you, but, you know, whatever. Let's move on. Okay, we're going to talk about this one right here. This is a royal Christmas. You know, it's around Christmas time. They do their little famous walk. I heard it was a lot of people out there like it usually are. So, whatever. So, Kate Middleton and the family are preparing. They dress the old-fashioned clothes they wear. I mean, what year is this? What year is this? I feel like they're stuck in a time warp. I mean, my goodness. We are in 2025, about to enter 2026. The fashion in America is drastically different. And they're looking like they're stuck in the 40s. This is, okay, I'll give them the 50s. This is seriously 50s. Look at, I mean, I'm sorry. We need to update this. This is not even cute. I'm sorry. It's not cute at all. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just being realistic here. Just no. I'm sorry. Kate Middleton and the family are preparing Christmas, and they're sending him whatever mansion. Customs include decorating a royal tree, exchanging gag gifts, and attending church together. You know, the Caucasian Jesus. And translation, even royals keep quirky, boring traditions alive, because that's really what it is. No one cares about your traditions anymore. You see, most of the people in the thingamajigger out here, whatever. The point of the matter is enough. I mean, move on. I mean, are they ever going to jump into the 21st century, or are we still stuck in the 19th century with these freaking people? I'm just saying. They're not even in the 20th century. They're in the 19th century. They're literally in the 1800s. I'm sorry. Only thing that's missing is a horse and carriage, you know, a footman and things of that nature. This is what's missing. They're stuck in a time. Look at this girl. What is this? I mean, just no. What does she have on? What is this? You know, I'm done. And Prince William, I have to say something about Prince William here. But first, just a second. Prince Catharina Amalia of the Netherlands debuted a new tiara. This is her at the Finnish State banquet. Princess Charlene of Monaco attended a gala while Queen Camilla festive appearances. Yeah, because she, because she's a Queen Camilla. Yeah. So this person here, she's the Princess of the Netherlands. She's the Princess Catharina Amalia of the Netherlands. And this is her wearing her childhood tiara because she was a kid and she was a princess, and she wore tiara again, and it was just news. I'm just now learning about this woman. I don't even care, but I'm just going to talk about it because I just feel like you guys should probably know. But I don't know who she is. Seriously, never follow her story. Don't care. But anyway, so Princess Charlene of Monaco attended gala while Queen Camilla made festival appearances, as you can see here. Translation: across Europe, royals are dazzling in holiday season events, as you can see here. So let's get back to these old-fashioned people. Now, William needs to get rid of this hair right here. Just shave this off. This is starting to look fucking ridiculous. Do he go and get this lined up at the top? I mean, for real. I mean, let's just give a brief recap here of what's going on with this freaking family. Okay, so 2025 has been a roller coaster for the monarchy. Charles stripped Prince Andrew of his titles, made his first trip to Canada as a monarch. He's supposed to be Cancer, and he's going to Canada and all these other tropical fucking places aside from Kodak's Canada. Yeah, him and his wife-to-be Camilla, his love of his life. And apparently he is happy. I mean, he has smiled more than he has ever done in years. Made his first trip to Canada as monarch and boundless scandals with historical milestones. Translation: this year be remembered as one of the most significant of Charles' reign. I must make my decisions. You know what? Let's go back to Prince William again. Prince William, I'm still holding out hope for you in your heart, primarily because I have a crush. However, I'm still going to talk about your bonehead, bitter actions because it's my job, but don't take it personal. Oh, and if you could please find the hackers who are manipulating and stealing my channels and make them return everything that was stolen from me, because people are starting to think I'm a liar and I'm just a rambling person who people just stop liking. I'm going to prove everybody wrong, but that would be freaking fantastic, and I'll owe you and your family big after it becomes a worldwide kind of scandal. But just shave this off. You look very handsome, but shave this off. The reverse mohawk looks ridiculous. Just shave it the fuck off. And that's another thing. Was the late Princess Diana, was she tall? Because I'm looking at Prince William. He's tall. He's taller than his father. He's actually about as tall as his grandfather, Prince Philip. As a matter of fact, he kind of looked like Prince Philip. You know, I'm going to go ahead and let that ride. Anyway, moving on. Maybe it's just a gene skip or something, but that's really something to look at. The only person who's around the same height as King Charles and the late Princess Diana is actually Harry. He looked more so the height of his grandfather, Prince Philip, but whatever. I just thought I should point that shit out. Now, and let's talk about Meghan Markle here. Okay, it seems like Thomas Markle is up to his ways again. Meghan Markle has spoken about his father, his leg being amputated, and instead of him calling his daughter or his kids or whatever, he calls this chick here, who's, I'm assuming, some associate of some news block or gossip block. I'm not even sure the backstory. The point of the matter is, he's up to his old ways again. He's supposed to be this wonderful, doting father, but more and more he's showing he's just not. Here's the inside deeds.
And the saga continues. A world exclusive interview. Amid reports Duchess of Sussex reached out to her sick father, Thomas Markle tells Mail on Sunday he still hasn't had call he longs for. Dad's plea to Meghan. See me one more time before I die. From Caroline Graham. The same Caroline Graham that has been by his side since he was living in Mexico all those years back, who was apparently with him in the Philippines. In my opinion, this seems like a setup to cash in on Meghan one last time, in my opinion. Because why hasn't anyone asked the question, why is Caroline Graham with Thomas Markle? Why has she integrated herself into his life for almost a decade now? And for the people that want to act as if Thomas Markle is innocent, I will leave you with this clip.
And of course, the photographs were a setup. I was set up by a guy named Jeff Reiner and another guy named Dylan Howard, who's with American media.
Oh, I didn't even change the word found. My bad.
The whole thing was a plan to actually mess up the wedding. I was just part of it, basically.
Yeah, so he's up to his, I need money. I mean, he's a disgraceful father. Here's more deeds.
No, I completely agree with you. I'm also willing to bet money that Caroline Graham will write a tell-all book or at least give a tell-all interview in the aftermath of Thomas Markle going to the land of the great beyond. I fully believe that she's going to do that, because why stay close to him after all these years? Don't forget, she has known him for years now. She went to Mexico and befriended him in the lead up to the wedding of Prince Harry and Meghan Sussex. She was also the journalist who revealed the letter that Meghan wrote to Thomas. That is who she is. I love the fact that this has all backfired on Thomas Markle and on Caroline Graham, because now you have people asking, if he is trying to get back in contact with his daughter, why is the first person that he's calling when he's in the hospital about to get one of his limbs amputated a journalist from the Daily Mail? That is unethical on the journalist's part, especially when you consider that one of his children is in the Philippines with him already. Then you have Caroline Graham saying, my tears with Meghan's father as I told him, choose her over our friendship. Almost trying to paint herself in a sympathetic light when what she's doing is unethical. And she's still trying to paint herself in this sympathetic light by saying that the Sussexes have accused Caroline Graham of crossing ethical lines by being at his hospital bedside. Now she tells her side of the story. Now she has become the story, which means that she is now too close to this and she needs to take a step back. But I just love the fact that this is blown up in their faces. And now you have people asking what exactly is going on here. And now you have people actually being very sympathetic towards Meghan, being like, oh, okay, now we understand why you do not have a relationship with your father, because this is all very crazy.
Yes, because he is an opportunist, and it's very sad what he's doing. And this woman is desperate as hell. She must be getting paid bank just to spill the tea about this. I can't talk about this anymore. This is ridiculous. He should be ashamed of his fucking self. But let's just go ahead and give you the bottom line here, okay? The bottom line is King Charles is turning his health back into a message of hope. The royals are keeping centuries-old Christmas traditions alive, snore, snore, ha ha ha. And Europe families are dancing with tiaras and galas. And it's been a year of highs and lows, but the crown is still shining. And they're still, basking in jewels and stuff that's not even originally theirs. From London all the way, well, not really all the way, to be honest, but just to Canada. I mean, that's not that far away, just saying. But it is what it is. Where's that, Canada? Or was that? I don't even know. That shows how much I care about this story. Seriously, I'm not even trying to memorize the damn story. It's kind of sad. Oh, I have more videos. Didn't know that. Okay, let's put up the royal family tag again. Okay, I forgot. Now, here in this particular clip here, we're going to get a little bit more in details about Meghan Markle and her struggle with her dad. Now, remember the British tabloids was gutting Meghan Markle when his leg got amputated. And it was like, oh, she's that Karen. She's so vile. She's so evil. She wouldn't even care that her dad's leg's been amputated. I mean, they were seriously just dragging her. So she, took care of that. Although I wouldn't have said a damn thing. But, that's just my evil self. I can be very evil. I'm Aquarius. I can be very cold. Once you do me wrong to the point that he has, after so many chances, oh, you dead to me. Seriously. But here's what she said, the famous Leo.
But Meghan just delivered a masterclass on how to deal with your enemies. So an update on the whole situation with her father, Thomas Markle, that is currently in the hospital. He just got his leg amputated. Apparently the surgery, they finished it. I personally think that this is something that was coming, but they planned it around the release of the With Love Meghan holiday special just to distract from it and cause drama. Now, we all know that Meghan was in a lawsuit with the Daily Bell because they published a previous letter that Meghan sent to her father, and that is likely why her and her people were very smart and initially tried to reach out to him via email. The Daily Bell have a lady called Caroline Graham who has been at Thomas Markle's side. She is one of their journos, and she is effectively leering over Thomas Markle and trying to get a story. This is all about getting a story, all about getting access to Meghan, all about intimidation, because we know that Harry has a court case coming up with the Daily Bell in early 2026. So I think what they wanted was for Meghan to actually call Thomas. But Meghan and her people have been so much.
I will call him.
And so because of that earlier lawsuit with the letter, which Meghan won, I believe the initial email was a way of making sure that they couldn't get any of the details out. Anything that was said over a phone call could potentially be leaked. But if you send an email and you put in the email that this is private and confidential, they could potentially sue if that got leaked. Now it's come out that Meghan actually got a handwritten letter somehow delivered to her dad. Also, another thing that I think that the Daily Bell wanted was a situation where Meghan would potentially actually go to the Philippines, which I always knew was never going to happen. But in an absolute stroke of genius, what her and her people actually did was send a representative from the US Embassy.
Yes, bitch, yes.
So on Monday, 2 representatives from the US consulate in Cebu, the city in the Philippines that Mr. Markle moved to in January of this year, turned up in Mr. Markle's hospital room. Consular agent Glenn Ivan Luke said the US Embassy in the Philippine capital of Manila had requested they visit Mr. Markle but declined to give further details. He asked Mr. Markle to make a list of people he authorized to receive health and well-being updates from the US Embassy. I think this is fantastic. Keep everything in writing so that if the Daily Bell want to publish anything, they could get sued, and send a third-party representative, an actual US official. Brilliant. I think that the Daily Bell have been completely and utterly embarrassed with all of this. The idea of a national newspaper trying to bully a woman by weaponizing her emotionally abusive father. Just all around disgusting. Meghan's people also put out this statement saying a spokesperson for the Duchess said, given that a Daily Mail reporter has remained at her father's bedside throughout, broadcasting each interaction and reaching clear ethical boundaries, it has been exceedingly difficult for the Duchess to contact her father privately, despite her efforts over the past several days. With the support of reliable and trusted contacts, and correspondence is now safely in his hands. So this was likely through the US Embassy. This has not gone the way the Daily Bell thought that it would go. But really, what were they expecting? They keep underestimating Meghan. They keep underestimating Harry. They keep underestimating their team. And they have done for years. All the Daily Mail is doing is digging their own grave. Court case with Harry is coming in January, and they better not be stupid enough to post Meghan's letter again. They better not dare.
Why would she write a letter anyway? Ugh. She's so much better than me, man. I'm telling you, if I had her money and her influence and all the shit he did, please. No, he won't be getting a letter from me. I understand. I'm like on the fence on why she wrote the letter, you know, just so that she still have empathy. But this man dragged her through the mud. He's friends with one of the Daily Mail's freaking crew people, reporters, or whatever the heck this woman is. I mean, goddamn. And he obviously don't love her like that, because if he did love her, he wouldn't have done the things he had done. He would have did the same thing that her mother did. I have nothing to say. You're not going to get me to talk against my daughter, which I would have done. Kiss my ass, leave me the fuck alone. He used every opportunity he possibly could to drag his daughter through the mud and allow his daughter to write a vile book seriously lynching her. What kind of father allows that stuff? But she's better than me.
Not enough people are talking about how bizarre it is that a reporter from the Daily Mail, Caroline Graham, is allegedly so close with Thomas Markle that they text regularly. She views him allegedly as a father figure, that she reported she was the first person he texted that he was going to lose the leg, jumps on a plane to the Philippines to like be by his bedside in the hospital. And then she was the one to like inform his children that he was undergoing surgery.
Are they married?
That is crazy. She's also the same one allegedly who was able to like get a copy of the letter that Meghan wrote to her dad before the wedding and then published it. I just feel like this is crossing the line. She's like meddling in the family and like, you know, putting gas on the fire. And like basically now Meghan's brother and sister have like made all these videos and tweets and everything. And it's just so crazy that this is allowed to happen. Like Thomas is an old man, manipulated. He's in poor health, mentally and physically. I think he's probably profiting off of this, and like he is guilty as well. But it just feels so like sick and weird that a like reporter, journalist, whatever, is able
she must
to
be in her 20s.
get in this close with.
I know there's a lot of
Thomas
young girls in their
Markle,
20s.
and
I would say like.
It's just, I don't know. It feels weird.
Very well said. All right, let's move on from this. All right, celebrity gossip. This is what you guys were looking for. Okay, opening. We're going to open up this with this. Okay, all right, y'all. Let's talk about the latest celebrity gossip because Diddy is back in the spotlight and not in the way he like to be. Okay? Point one. We're going to talk about the Netflix documentary, which is the 5th one, I believe. I lost count because there's some on Tubi and I think on another one, Peacock, maybe. I don't remember. So I think this one became so viral is because it's on famous Netflix and everyone watches Netflix. But y'all do know it's like several other documentaries that reveal a lot more in detail of what that sick psychopath Diddy did. But anyway, this new 4-part series called Shroud The Reckoning dropped on Netflix this month. It's produced by 50 Cent, who's had a long-running feud with Diddy. In translation, this isn't just a documentary, it's a beef turned into streaming content. But the questions are why? Okay, well, let's talk about point number 2, the allegations in the footage. Now, the doc does include interviews of jurors from Diddy's federal trial and footage from days before his arrest. You know, this fool hired a film crew to record him before he got arrested because I guess he just feel like I need to have this on camera. I'm going to put in a documentary how I went through this trial and I fought it, and it's behind the scenes photos as I was the photos and videos I meant that, you know, how I was dealing with this whole struggle of being in this turmoil or tragedy. I mean, he was so adamant and so confident that he was going to literally walk out of that goddamn jail. So, and would have been home eating Thanksgiving turkey and having Christmas with his family and going to his little orgies and freak offs and fest offs, what the hell you want to call it. That's how confident he was in him getting cleared of all these charges. Seriously? So, he didn't even pay the guy, apparently, who had the footage. He didn't pay him. He has a history of not doing it. He didn't even pay him. And what's really odd is that all of these sickos, even Mr. Quincy back here, got some dirt and deed he did back in the day, which is why he's so loyal to Diddy and kind of ignoring his father, who is seriously suffering. But you know what? He'll go down with the rest of these sicko kids. And this fool here, he got sexual assault allegations. She's the queen, pimp, whatever. And these two twin daughters are weird as hell. No offense, but they still dress alike. What twins this age still dress alike? They act like two brainwashed puppets who feel they must dress alike. They get their hair alike. They get their clothes alike. This is weird. Don't they have their own personalities? This is kind of weird. What twins at this age still dress alike? This is weird. I mean, are they getting injected with some clone juice or something? I'm sorry, I can't. And he got some crap against him. Remember J. Rod, and I already said this in J. Rod's little court statement. I did a whole video about it. He is seriously proprietor and a murderer with his dad. Because I'm assuming the G guy is dead, which is why he haven't came forward yet. Because I would have been that came forward and got on one of them goddamn documentaries and told all the teeth to this motherfucker. Like, I'm not suffering his pain for nothing. I would have brought him down. But, you know, that means this G guy is obviously dead. Because no one even knows who the hell he is or where he at. J-Rod is not saying too much shit. Where the hell his name is? Little Rod, J-Rod, what the fuck his name is? And she's stuck in the time rub like in the 70s or whatever. This is really whack. I'm sorry. All these kids need some counseling. He needs to go to jail. He needs to go to jail. He needs to be investigated. They need shrinks and counselors. She needs shrinks and counselors because I heard about some stuff that Diddy did to her when she was growing up. She need to... You know what? I'm not going to even talk about her right now because too many words are coming up right now. So Diddy Teams says the footage was unauthorized and stolen. It wasn't. Calling the series a hit piece. Even his videographer had to clear his name saying he didn't leak anything. He didn't leak nothing. It's not. He don't have a leg to stand on. So the family response, you know, Miss Pimp here. Family response, Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, you know, the pimp who groomed the sicko, you know, from birth, who still dresses like, well, her dressing like this doesn't actually prove her case. I'm just going to put that out there. She still dressed like she still do the orgies and pimp people. I'm just saying. She dressed like she's still in the 70s. So her dressing like this is not proving that I'm a civilized woman. God, praise his name. No, she's not giving me that. She's giving me, I'm still down with whatever. Let's do this for my money, bitch. You know, that's what I'm still getting from Janice Combs, but I'm just going to say that. So Janice Combs broke her silence, calling the documentary inaccurate and salacious. Like, this is not me. But no. Anyway, she says and misinterpret his upbringing, even falsely claims he hit her. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but people witnessed him hitting her. So it's not like just one person came out and say he hit her and no one else saw it. No, many people witnessed the hitting. So the family is fighting back hard against the narrative. First of all, let me just say this again. He did hit her, and there were witnesses who said he did. Not just one, but many. But so I guess all of them just saw the same thing and all of them were just lying. I don't think so. But getting Janice to tell the truth about anything, despite all she saw her son do, like beat his girlfriend, hit his kid's mother, her grandkid's mother, and do drugs, and countless of other gruesome, vile, and evil shit. Should we even believe anything she has to say? Because it speaks volumes of her character and confirms everything we heard about her. Because if I had a son who acted the way Diddy did and treated people the way Diddy did, I would turn his ass into the police myself, or I would disown him. Like, he is not my son acting like that because I did not raise him to be like this. That's what I would do. I would not be sitting in court knowing everything that Cassie was saying, everyone was saying, Lil Rod, all these people, grown-ass people up here and crying of tragedy. I would not be sitting there trying to support my sick-ass fucking son if I had morality and integrity, and I know what they're saying is false. No, I would not do that. I would be on the victim side, hoping this fucker go down. But that's just me. Her supporting Diddy is confirming everything that has been said. And her dressing like this doesn't help. I mean, what civilized woman just like this? I need to go back. Because we need to watch this video right there. Okay. First of all, her hair is very pretty. And I wonder where she got that microphone from. I got a microphone too, but I'm not going to be carrying it. And I don't like my microphone showing in my video because everybody else have their microphone showing in their videos. I don't want that. I think it looks tacky. And primarily they're doing it. So I'm not going to do it. That's basically what I do. I don't follow trends. I set them. So, but she's pretty and I love her hair. Hear what she got to say. And then we move on to the other videos that I have. The link, if y'all want to co-host, is on the top of the comment section.
I have unfollowed and unfriended so many people because of this Diddy situation. It ain't even funny. Don't have to worry about bringing me into the next year.
Oh, yeah. Anyone who supports Diddy and say he's innocent, lose my goddamn number. Matter of fact, don't even follow me. Carry your scary rapist, child molesting sick asses over to the other sick asses like Marlon Wayans or some of those people.
So you can go to hell all 2026. This is going to be an angry rant that might get me unfollowed, but it'll be worth every bit of it. People are more mad at 50 Cent for creating a documentary about Diddy than the person that committed these heinous offenses against everybody that came into close contact with him. And I mean everybody. That's like beating the hell out of the mailman because he delivered you a Verizon bill. Why are we shooting the messenger? People will say that they're mad at him because he doesn't actually care about the victims. Well, you know, victims really do run into that problem where a lot of people don't necessarily give a about them, especially if they're going against somebody powerful. I found out who did and didn't care about victims when that video of Cassie being kicked in her stomach on the floor.
I know. The response
and
to
that's
that.
when the good Lord revealed to me who I needed to block, mute, unfollow,
all the
unfriend.
way.
Not interested. Do not recommend this channel to me. Won't he do it? Listen closely. One thing about losers, users, and abusers is they have a strong network of people that they built with their strength of low self-esteem and spite. They normalize and justify loser-ass abusive behavior because in their minds, everybody behaves this way. And no, they don't. People have the right to defend Diddy. If that's your king, if that's your hero, if that's the person you look up to, then we know all that we need to know about you. It's like they get mad that we refuse to worship a wimp. Go ahead and praise Sir Pathetic and Puny, but the rest of us won't be participating. All Curtis did was lay out facts that we already knew, poetically packaged in video form. But here's some lessons that are important to learn that you might have missed. Diddy wasn't a friend to anybody. So that friend that wants everything that you have, that friend that walks like you, talks like you, dresses like you, isn't a friend that you should feel flattered by, isn't a person that admires you. This person isn't a friend at all. They don't like themselves, so they wish to become you. And once they've achieved that, they'll get rid of the original. Diddy's mom beat him relentlessly when he was a child to turn him into the man that she wanted him to be, or maybe the man that she might have needed him to be. But all she accomplished was creating a human being that couldn't stand women, especially women like her. That message is for whoever it's for. A lot of people stayed in Diddy's vicinity because they felt like they needed something from him, whether it was the return on the investment that they gave, or the money that they were promised, or the life that they were promised, or even the love that was dangled in front of them like a carrot. Everything that you seek out in other people is inside of you. Everything that you think you need from somebody else, you can give to yourself. If grown men are afraid to stand up to Diddy, if grown men are afraid to confront, or dare I say, hand out a very necessary ass whooping to Diddy, please stop asking why the women didn't conjure up the strength to leave him. Somebody has got to tell this no and mean it. What's happening to Diddy isn't what a man that's down on his luck deals with. This man is not down on his luck. Do you know what being down on your luck is? It's getting fired and then getting out your car and having a bird on top of your head. That's a down on your luck type of day. This is a man that's dealing with the consequences of his actions. And whether you believe in God or you don't, or worship the universe or not, the law of the land is whatever you put out into this world, you receive back. May not be that day, that month, or that year. May not be in the next 10 years, but you will around and find out. An insecure man is a man that can kill, especially when they have the means, the power, and the resources to do so. At the beginning, they won't be much of a threat to you, but you'll find out in the end exactly why you should have kept your distance.
Facts. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well said. I got more videos for you, honey, to break down this documentary, which is the 5th. I lost count. It's not the only documentary. I really should watch the doc that's on Tubi and I believe Peacock.
Unpopular opinion. If you actually want to protect yourself, you need to study predators, study abusers, study manipulators, because the psychology is the same whether they're a billionaire mogul or the person in your group chat. I just finished watching the new Netflix documentary about Diddy, and what stood out to me the most wasn't just the allegations that pissed me off. It was the playbook. Diddy is a masterclass in psychological manipulation. I'm a retired criminal legal professional who's seen the worst of humanity, including the most elaborate manipulation. So I'm going to put you on to 5 of Diddy's control tactics that you need to recognize in your own life so you can stay 10 steps ahead of everyone else. The last 2 tactics are so sophisticated no one ever notices. So be sure to watch this video to the end so you don't miss them too. Number 1, image creation and PR manipulation. Abusers are professionals at manufacturing a public image that directly contradicts their private behavior. Diddy presented himself as this charismatic, fun-loving, peaceful, family-oriented, entrepreneurial brother love, the nice guy persona that so many others put on. Meanwhile, people close to him describe violence, exploitation, and coercion. This is the good guy shield that is very common as a camouflage tactic used to hide deviance and to ensure no one ever believes the accuser's accusations. Abusers tend to be very charming and very charismatic for this reason. Number 2, identity reinvention. Dude went from Puffy to Puff Daddy to P. Diddy to Diddy to Sean Combs, Brother Love, in whatever order. The constant rebranding is intended to throw people off. It resets public memory and helps abusers to outrun accountability to stay untouchable.
Basically.
On a smaller scale, the everyday abuser may do this by switching jobs, personas, or friendship groups, always reinventing to escape consequences. Number 3, building dependency via resource control. And this is a big one. This includes withholding money, finagling contracts, restricting resources, or offering opportunities only to later renege or weaponize them. These tactics ensure that his artists, employees, and girlfriends can't leave and must stay dependent on him. The everyday version of this looks like the partner who pays all the bills so you're comfortable, but then uses it to control you, or the boss who mentors you but restricts your opportunities and keeps you stagnant, invisible, and under their thumb. Number 4, and no one talks about this, well-cultivated network of allies. Diddy fostered a powerful, large network of influential players and institutions that kept him untouchable. Executives, record labels, media owners, public officials, attorneys, and even gang leaders. He also made strategic philanthropic and community investments. All of this social capital becomes a shield against accountability. This network creates an army of defenders who have institutional power and incentives to cover up for him, protect him, vouch for him, and defend him. His good deeds created advocates who say things like, he does so much for people, he'll never do XYZ. This is why victims are shamed into silence. The abuser made themselves too beloved to be believed. Mm-hmm. In everyday life, this shows up as the charismatic pastor with strong backing from congregants, political figures, and media outlets, or the beloved coworker who built alliances with all the bosses and staff and clients who will go to bat for him and shut down any of his accusers. Number 5, and this is never talked about, I call it controlled compartmentalization of information. Different assistants, different staff, different friends got bits and pieces of information so no one ever saw or knew the full reality, even when they were physically present and involved. This was intentional and strategic to ensure no one could recount a full story and to keep folks in the dark. As a result, victims think they're the only one and then doubt themselves, and then associates think that it was just a one-off incident, so they don't make it a big deal. Patterns stay hidden because the abuser isolates everyone from the full truth and the complete picture. This creates a deliberate knowledge gap in the minds of people who will otherwise be the best witnesses. When you listen to all the witnesses, victims, and whistleblowers over the years, peep how they're only able to give partial information even when they were there, which kind of makes them look unreliable when they're not unreliable. It's just that their knowledge bank was manipulated and they didn't even know it. Abusers in everyday life use these exact same tactics, just on a smaller scale. When you learn to recognize these patterns in someone powerful, you finally learn how to recognize them in the people around you. Share this video to help others recognize these red flags, and follow me for more information, more content on self-empowerment.
Follow her, you guys. Follow her. She gave some pretty important facts, ladies and gentlemen. All right, now we are going to get into some deep stuff. I don't even like talking about this chick because every time I talk about her, shit happens. But we're going to go ahead and talk about it. We're going to talk about Beyonce. And we're not going to really say anything negative about her, but you guys remember that on that little show, forgot that live reality show where he was trying to make the band or whatever, and he had them walk that long walk to get a cheesecake or something. Well, that cheesecake wasn't for him.
I don't know, why did nobody ever talk about the Diddy Beyonce story? Oh, you don't know it? Because nobody talks about it. Prepare to have your mind blown. Diddy's going away to prison for 4 years. Long before he ever got busted officially, there were definitely some warning signs looking back. By the way, watch to the end of this video for my hottest take on this entire situation, because I want to know if you feel me or not. If you grew up in the early 2000s, I can probably show you one picture and you will know exactly where I'm going with this. Side note, I know he's a bad guy, but that's a really cool shirt. On to the picture. Yep. Cheesecake. So Diddy had his own MTV show back in the day called Making the Band, where he would compile a super group of all these up-and-coming rappers. And in the process, created one of the most iconic moments in millennial television history. And they actually weren't that bad. The lead single from this album actually spent 9 weeks on the Hot 100 back in 2003. But on one of those episodes, Diddy infamously walked out on a cold New York night and demanded that those up-and-coming rappers walk from Manhattan to Brooklyn to get some cheesecake. But that's not the crazy part. The crazy part is the cheesecake was for Beyonce. Years after the fact, two members of the band, Dylon here and Freddie P, both revealed it was Beyonce who was upstairs in the studio at the time working with Diddy around the time of her debut album in 2003, and she was the one who wanted the cheesecake. If you're watching this right now and you're a little bit younger, you weren't around in the early 2000s, it's kind of hard to put into perspective just how crazy this is to process. Just the fact that one of the most iconic television moments of our childhood was somehow inspired or caused by one of the most iconic artists of our childhood, and yet nobody knew. I mean, how MTV producers left that part out is just beyond me. How do you not mention that Beyonce is upstairs? The cheesecake is for her. I mean, I guess if you're like a little younger, it would be like if the blue dress actually belonged to Taylor Swift. Does that make sense? For everybody who is there, like me, watching every week, I mean, this has just got to blow your mind. Also, that hot take I was telling you about at the start of the video, cheesecake sucks. Gross. Just have cake. Cake's great. Cake's fine. Nothing wrong with cake. Why are we involving cheese? Why is cheese getting involved? Stop. You're gross. Anyways, I want to hear your feedback in the comments. Drop me a line. If you like music stories just like this, hit the follow button for more.
Wow. I'm sorry. The more I hear about Beyonce, the more I'm just starting to question her entire fictitious freaking image. Is there anything truthful about this chick in terms of the image that she portrays? I don't know. Here's more stuff that the baby exposed by Jay-Z and Beyonce.
Because Jay-Z and Puff was given an assignment, and that was to destroy East Coast rap.
I was at a party at Diddy crib in LA. This was the beginning of 2020.
He first started dating Beyonce at 17, 18. He was 30-something. You didn't know his age. I look back and see how old Jay-Z was. I think Jay-Z was born in like 69 or 67 because he couldn't
Hold up, wait a minute. Let me put something in this. Now, this is back in the day where we heard that Jay-Z, whatever, was born in the 60s. Okay. In the 60s, ladies and gentlemen. So if he was born in 1967, let's just say 1968, just for argument's sake. Although I can add this in my mind, but I don't want to at the moment. Okay, God damn it. So 2025 minus 1968. That means he's 57, not 47, not 51, whatever goddamn age he's freaking claiming these goddamn days. The point of the matter is he's almost 60. Hold up. What age is he claiming? That's a really goddamn good question. What age is this? They are perfect for each other. I mean, Jay-Z and Beyonce, they should never break up. They're like literally the most, I'm going to let that ride. Anyway, so what is Jay-Z's age? What age is he claiming? Since y'all are afraid to comment, I'm just going to be talking to myself. I'm used to it. I'm Aquarius. Okay, it says here 69. He's saying he was born in 69. Okay, that's what he's saying. He said he was born in 69. That's what it says right here. But we just heard that he may be born in 67. Although I heard he was born a little earlier than that. I'll be real with you. Like he's like 60 some years old now. So we just leave it at 60. We just leave it at 69. Okay, so we're gonna leave it at 69. We're not gonna even change that. We're gonna leave it at 69. Okay, let's just say he may be telling the truth about his age. Maybe. We don't know if this. Whatever. First of all, I like this right here. This is really cute. This whole hairstyle this is still rocking today. Who used to dress her back in these days? Tina needs to go back and dress her. This is way too cute. This is cute. Anyway, I'm distracted. Okay, yeah. So we are going to conclude that he is the right age that he claimed to be. So clap, clap, clap for the Ditster. The names I come out with is hilarious. So we're going to give a clap, clap, clap to the Ditster. He actually told the truth about his age. Yeah. Do I have a clap here? No, it doesn't matter. Let's do a high five then. There we go. He's the truth, but he gave the truth about his age. Beautiful. All right, let's move on here. More tea.
Seem to stop people. Yes, she didn't do it well enough because she just started all the time.
Did you see what Jay-Z and Beyonce's daughter blew
I
up?
gotta pause again. Everything Jagger White has been saying so far has been the freaking truth. Let's just go ahead and point that crap out. But I've been saying it for years, but I'm just saying everything she's saying is truth.
Introduced her salon son to your song, Shake Something?
Yeah, I saw that. I did see that. Yeah, I mean, I ain't know how true it was or not. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like, if it comes from their house, it's validated. But that's dope. And I'm surprised. I actually met Beyonce before. That was one of the people like, who you met?
The entertainment world is shaking once again. And this time, the spotlight is focused on a strange mix of public comments, old friendships, mysterious parties, and a growing list of rumors that refuse to die. The topic at hand is sharp and uncomfortable. Online conversations are buzzing with dramatic.
There you go. Do you guys? I have more. I think I have more. Let's see. But I want to go back a little bit. Let's go back a little bit because I need to bring up a point 4. We need to bring up a point 4 on where Diddy is standing now. Okay. Here we go. Bam. Point 4, where he stands now. Diddy is serving a 50-month sentence after being convicted in July 2025. He could be released in mid-2028, but only if he completes his prison programs. But considering there are hundreds of charges on him, I doubt if he makes it out of there alive. He's behind bars, but the headlines keep coming after the doc. He could be in there longer. I hope so. Just want to point that out because he needs to be in there for life for all the murders he done did. And we only heard a portion of the murders he's been accused of. The man he's a serial murderer. He's a serial murderer. And I'm sure, his homeboys can, be co-conspirators with that as well. I still got more tea. Yeah, girls came with more tea. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. This is Kiki and Keisha. Came with more tea. Where is my tea emoji? Do I have a tea emoji in here? No, I don't have a tea emoji, unfortunately. I tried to put the tea emoji here, but it won't act right for whatever goofy reason that is. I mean, it kept messing up and everything. I mean, goodness. Just a tea emoji. Anyway, but here we go. More videos.
I'm sorry, Beyonce and LeBron were at a Diddy freak out? Guys, new information is dropping and the tea is hot.
An accuser in the Diddy of it all is now saying that Beyonce and LeBron James not only were at one of these freak-offs, but were witnesses at this freak-off. Let me do a little reading for you here. Sean Diddy Combs is facing new accusations as he awaits the federal trial. Now, in a civil case in Florida that was filed, and it shows no Jane Does, no John Does here, according to court documents, he was drugged and then transported against his will, and he was sexually named as a victim of a coercive and organized criminal enterprise. That this was facilitated by Diddy and others back in 2015. And Nate, right here, witnesses in the lawsuit. Let's wait for that deposition and those testimonies. Beyonce, Jay-Z, and LeBron James. Now, we know that Diddy has been going against these accusations, saying none of it's true, but take a listen to this. In this filing, he also says that he lost consciousness after feeling a, quote, greasy substance resembling Vaseline, baby oil maybe, as he opened the front door of his home, after which he says that he was transported to another residence where an associate of Diddy allegedly told him that the music mogul wanted him brought to a freak-off event. And there's more. Look at that bottom line. It says he was secretly transferred to his home through a concealed tunnel that allegedly connected to Gloria Estefan and Emilio Esteban's Miami property. Look, I know we talk about Hollywood and
wait, hold up. Let's listen to this shit again. Hold on, wait a minute.
Beyonce and LeBron were at a Diddy freak-off. Guys, new information is dropping and the tea is hot. An accuser in the Diddy of it all is now saying that Beyonce and LeBron James not only were at one of these freak-offs, but were witnesses at this freak-off. Let me do a little reading for you here. Sean Diddy Combs is facing new accusations as he awaits the federal trial. Now, in a civil case in Florida that was filed, and it shows no Jane Does, no John Does here, according to court documents, he was drugged and then transported against his will, and he was sexually named as a victim of a coercive and organized criminal enterprise. That this was facilitated by Diddy and others back in 2015. And Nate, right here, witnesses in the lawsuit. Let's wait for that deposition and those testimonies. Beyonce, Jay-Z, and LeBron James. Now, we know that Diddy has been going against these accusations, saying none of it's true, but take a listen to this. In this filing, he also says that he lost consciousness after feeling a, quote, greasy substance resembling Vaseline, baby oil maybe, as he opened the front door of his home, after which he said that he was transported to another residence where an associate of Diddy allegedly told him that the music mogul wanted him brought to a freak-off event. And there's more. Look at that bottom line. It says he was secretly transferred to his home through a concealed tunnel that allegedly connected to Gloria Estefan and Emilio Esteban's Miami property. Look, I know we talk about Hollywood and the conspiracy of it all, but this does not look good. Also, now I'm wondering, could that celebrity A in the earlier lawsuits, there was suspicion that it could have been Beyonce. Does that mean it was? And those allegations.
That was in 2000, though. I don't think she'll be there. Her father was really tight-lipped on her. Oh my gosh.
They dropped them because of the intimidation. What's really going on here?
What do you guys think about this? I mean, oh man. I listened to Tina Knowles' book, and she made Beyonce look like an angel coming out, with some kind of golden, I don't know, cocoon or some shit like that. And she can do no wrong. She's just a beautiful, innocent, whatever woman. Okay, what mother don't think their daughters are like that? But anyway, and I think, if I was Tina, I'd get my daughter away from. Then again, I don't know. Tina, she's all about that paper. She don't like broke fools. I mean, it's primarily reason why she broke up with Matthew, aside from the fact he kept cheating on her. But still, I don't know. I mean, ever since Beyonce got with Jay-Z, it's been really bad. Her reputation, he's going to ruin her reputation. I mean, how much loyalty this girl need? The dick is not that good, girl. Damn. Anyway, but here we go. Meanwhile, Diddy is trying to sue Netflix, saying that, I don't know, of all the documentaries that came out in Tubi, Peacock, I believe, why is he trying to sue this goddamn doc? He didn't sue the other ones that came out, so this must be the more truthful doc, although the other one said the same thing he said in this documentary. But he's trying to sue, and Netflix is like, okay, dude, don't go trying to sue us because this shit was already out there. We just broadcasting for everyone to fucking see. Just saying. Here's the story.
I ain't got to see the new Diddy show yet on Netflix, but apparently Diddy sent them a cease and desist, and Netflix has responded. Okay? Before we start, I'll take the one off the front of my name, put the rest of my name in any music platform. Whatever's playing in the background, that's me. Okay? Add me to your playlist. The cease and desist is claiming that this new documentary brought to you by 50 Cent is a hit piece that only fell in 50 Cent's lap after Diddy's own documentary combos with Netflix fell through. So basically what happened was Diddy was actually shooting his own footage, okay, in hopes that he would win. And then he would release his own thing, okay? When stuff started falling down, like crumbling in his face, he ended up not paying the people that were shooting this footage hours and hours and hours and editing. So then 50 Cent got in contact with them in relation with Netflix and said, look, we'll pay you for that footage if you haven't been paid. They let it go. Is what it is. Netflix says the claims being made about Sean Combs' The Reckoning are false. The project has no ties to any past conversations between Sean himself and Netflix. The footage of Combs leading up to his indictment and arrest were legally obtained because we paid for them. A hit piece or an act of retribution. And that's why they say that. This isn't a hit piece. We got this footage from you shooting something for yourself that you thought was going to be positive. So how is this a hit piece? We got all the footage from your people. We just didn't cut out you being an absolutely terrible individual while in front of those people on camera. You know what I'm saying? Curtis Jackson is an executive producer, but does not have creative control. No one was paid to participate either. And mind you, one of the main people that's talking in this thing, I still haven't seen it yet, but I've seen enough. One of the main guys that are talking in this is like the co-CEO of Bad Boy. So, you know, but man, we'll see how it goes. I mean, they responded to the cease and desist and basically said, get the fuck out of here. We don't give a damn. But hey, I'm just letting y'all know. Follow me. Give me a like, a share. Leave a comment, okay? And until next time.
Oh, here's this information. Screenshot. Boom. Boom. And here's hers. Boom.
Now, Netflix just sent a message louder than a bad boy ad-lib. You suing us? Cool, let's get it.
What kind of shit is that?
Now, Diddy thought dropping a $1 billion lawsuit on Netflix was going to shake the table. Instead, Netflix grabbed the whole table, flipped it over, and said, sir, we ain't even worried. Now, this ain't the early 2000s. This is a streaming era, and Netflix is built for legal warfare. Now, today, we're breaking down how Netflix hits back, why their clapback is deadly, and what this means for the already crumbling Diddy empire. Now grab your popcorn because this one right here is getting nasty. Now let's keep it real. This lawsuit wasn't about justice. It was a Hail Mary pass from a man watching his reputation freefall. Diddy's legal team claimed Netflix defamed him. Netflix fabricated narratives. Netflix damaged his legacy. And Netflix didn't fact check witnesses. Now basically, Diddy said the documentary did him dirty. But here's the flaw. The documentary didn't create the allegations. The allegations created the documentary. Now, Netflix just put everything in one place so the world could binge the downfall like a true crime special. Now, Diddy suing Netflix is like suing a mirror because you don't like your own damn reflection. Now, Netflix clapped back so quick, it felt like it was rehearsed. Their response basically translated to everything we aired was sourced, everything we showed already existed. You're mad at the internet, not us. They told the court the footage is real, the interviews are real, the documents are real, and the allegations predate Netflix by years. Now, Netflix even implied Diddy is trying to punish them for not protecting him, aka you can't sue us because the world found out more than you wanted them to damn know. And the most disrespectful part, Netflix said Diddy's lawsuit actually validated the importance of the documentary. Now, that's corporate language for thanks for the free promo, cuz. Now, here's where Netflix gets real dangerous. Behind closed doors, sources say Netflix has unused footage, unused interviews, extended testimony, and internal conversations they didn't put in the documentary.
Release it.
Now, you're asking yourself, why does that actually matter? Well, because if Diddy keeps pushing this lawsuit, Netflix will legally release more evidence to defend their stance. Now, imagine you're suing someone and they respond by saying, cool, let's show more of the stuff you're trying to hide. Now, Netflix definitely isn't bluffing. They're setting the stage for the unreleased material to drop like a bonus DLC content. Now, Diddy swung first, Netflix is ready to swing last. Now, see, Netflix is too smart just to argue. They know the court of public opinion decides everything. So by standing tall, they're sending two messages. We're not scared of you, and also we have the damn receipts. Now, Netflix deals with lawsuits every single week. They've been sued by princes, governments, actors, entire countries. Diddy is definitely not a threat. He's just a minor speed bump. They're basically daring him to continue. That's how confident they are that the documentary was airtight. Netflix is leveraging Diddy's own lawsuit to reinforce their credibility. That's chess, and Diddy came in with that Connect Foe energy. Now let's call out the elephant in the room, y'all. Diddy suing Netflix, it definitely looks desperate. Now he didn't sue his accusers, he didn't sue the media outlets, he didn't sue the bloggers, the reporters. He didn't even sue 50 Cent, who's been embarrassing him all up and down the streets. He sued the platform that packaged the allegations too neatly for him to escape it. That's like robbing a bank and then suing the news for reporting it. Now, the lawsuit makes him look more guilty, not less, because innocent people don't declare war on documentaries that use real evidence. This feels like reputation CPR, and the patient ain't damn responding no more. Now, instead of actually backing off, Netflix is allegedly planning international expansion of the documentary, more advertisement spends, more social media promotions, more press, and possibly a follow-up installment, y'all. Now, a lawsuit normally slows a company down, but Netflix accelerated. They treated Diddy's billion-dollar threat like a damn mosquito bite. Now, what Diddy intended as a shutdown move actually gave Netflix a brand new marketing angle. Even the person who hates this documentary the most can't stop talking about it. They're bringing in way more of an audience just to watch this damn show. Now that is marketing genius. So the lawsuit was supposed to actually scare Netflix, but Netflix turned that shit into content. It was supposed to protect Diddy, but it exposed new vulnerabilities. It was supposed to regain control, but Netflix just showed the world who's really in control.
Boom. Do you guys need any more information? I think he conveyed it very articulately.
I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm still not done yet. Let's talk about Rob Reiner. Okay. Here is a brief synopsis of Rob Reiner and his wife. Rob Reiner's story is one of the Hollywood's brilliant and heartbreaking tragedy. He rose from sitcom fame to become one of the most beloved directors of the 1980s and 1990s. But in December 2025, he and his wife, Michelle Singer, were found dead in their Los Angeles home, reportedly victims of a homicide involving their son. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Now, his early fame, Reiner first became famous as Michael Meathead. It was like a stivic on All in the Family running from 1971 and 1979. He won 2 Emmy Awards, directorial breakthrough. His debut was This Is Spinal Tap that broadcast in 1984. It became a cult classic. I haven't seen any of this. It's way before my time. Anyway, golden run of films. He directed a string of hits, including Stand By Me. Don't remember. Oh, he directed that? I like that one. The Princess Bride. From 1987 When Harry Met Sally. I saw that. Misery, 1990, and A Few Good Men. These films are now considered cultural landmarks, which They are. Mm-hmm. Now, later work, he continued directing into the 2000s and 2010s with films such as The Bucket List. Remember The Bucket List? And documentaries such as Shock and Awe, that broadcast in 2017, and God and Country in 2024. His ideal of movies are very heartfelt. He has a good heart. I like the movies that he chose, unlike some dark, sick-ass people in the industry. But anyway, I don't care. Okay, so his family and personal life. This is the gentleman. Well, he's not a gentleman if he shot his father. He's the one who shot his father, and this is his parents. These are the Reiners. These are his parents. There was also Hollywood stars and somewhere in the Hollywood industry. And this is his wife, who I believe is wearing a wig, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, so family and personal life. Hollywood legacy. Rob was the son of comedian legend Carl Reiner and actress Estelle Reiner. That's them right there. Marriage, he married a photographer, Michelle A. Singer, in 1999. That's this young lady here. The relationship even influenced the happy ending of Harry Met Sally. Yeah, children, this is their children together. They had 3 children, Jack, Nick, and Rami. This is... Let's go back. Let's go back. Yeah, this is Nick. This is Jack. And this is Rami, or whatever the hell I got that name is. He also adopted Tracy Reiner, daughter of his first wife, Penny. I don't think she's in there. Anyway, so the tragic ending on December 14, 2025, just before Christmas, these kids have to deal with not having a father before Christmas, if you believe in our Christmas stuff. Anyway, Rob, who was 78, and his wife was 10 years younger than he was, she was 68, were found dead in their Brentwood home. Reports indicate their son, Nick, that's his man here, may have been involved. Though investigations are ongoing, the news shocked Hollywood with tributes pouring in from actors, directors, political figures alike, because he's been acting since, the 70s. I mean, God, that's a long time ago. That's long, over 40 years. That's a long time ago. Seriously. The man is a legend. Seriously. I don't even know the movies that I saw. He directed it. I mean, wow. I like his choices. Very nice. Very nice. Very Caucasian, but nice. Except for the bucket list. I think the bucket list did have Morgan Freeman, I believe, and dude from The Shining whose name escapes me. Him in there, I believe. I think. I don't remember, but I think. Whatever. Anyway. Here are some recent clips that he recorded prior to his death. He really didn't like Donald Trump. Remember the movies I broadcast were heartfelt. They have morality, integrity. There was beautiful love stories and in general. So these are the movies he chose to direct. So it kind of gives you an idea of his character versus Steven Spielberg, who I think is sick, and the other sickos who direct really weird movies. He direct beautiful movies, beautiful love stories. This literally tells you his character. He did not like Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? He hated Donald Trump. Seriously, hated Donald Trump for real.
Right now, journalism is under attack. We see the President of the United States calling it the enemy of the people, fake news. And this is a story about 4 guys who are trying to get the truth out. How difficult it is to get the truth out when there are incredible headwinds. And that's what journalists are facing right now.
And that brings us to this next point. We're seeing the President of the United States attacking Canada's Prime Minister. I wanted to get your take on how you read that.
Well, it's awful. It's awful. I mean, Canada is, we share a long, long border with Canada. There's no fences, no walls, there's no military. We have the best relationship with Canada. And then all the other members of the G7. These are our allies. These are Americans' allies. They've been our allies forever. And for him to denigrate our allies at the same time that he's cozying up to authoritarians like Putin and Erdogan and Duterte, and now with Kim Jong-un, it's pretty disturbing for us who care, for those of us who care about democracy, and hopefully the democracy will survive.
So his supporters would say, well, here's Reiner, a coastal elite like Robert De Niro, that's only helping embolden Trump supporters.
Well, I'm not saying the F word. I'm not going to say that. I think that kind of thing does embolden Trump supporters. And listen, people have a view of me. They call me all kinds of names on my Twitter feed, and it's pretty bad. But I'm just trying to do I'm just trying to get to the truth and to hold a president accountable for the things he's doing. Now, I don't agree with his policies, but I also don't like the fact that he is denigrating a pillar of democracy, which is a free and independent media.
I agree wholeheartedly. How you doing, PG or PCG, Nino? Okay, listen, when I said Steven Spielberg sick, I mean sick in terms of dude sick with his very scientific movies that he comes out with and The Color Purple that he came out with. I meant that in the most articulate way, not that I think he's sick and he needs some help or whatever. That is not what I meant. No. I mean, he is sick in his ideas and movies. His movies are so outlandish and so far advanced. He really believes in space. I mean, he really believes in galaxies and aliens. And I mean, aliens, I won't call them aliens. I think, well, that's a whole nother video. But y'all already know where I stand in that little subject. If you are a true truth seeker, you know where I stand in that subject. But anyway, here's a video that he literally recorded, I believe, days before his death.
I'm Rob Reiner, and America, we've got a problem. We've been attacked by a foreign enemy power, and our president refuses to defend us. Donald Trump is meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin one-on-one in a closed-door meeting with no aides present and no record of what will be said. Putin's government attacked our democracy by interfering in the 2016 election
and 2024.
Donald Trump become president. That is not in dispute. It has been verified by all U.S. intelligence agencies, the Republican-led Senate Intelligence Committee, and the U.S. Justice Department. Trump and his campaign's conspiracy with Russia is the subject of a federal investigation. And yet Donald Trump refuses to meet with Robert Mueller, the prosecutor leading that investigation. Trump said he'd meet with anyone. He told us, I'll speak to anybody. But now he's backing out. He has nothing to hide. Won't he sit down and answer Mueller's questions? What's he afraid of? In light of his meeting with Putin, it's more imperative than ever that we get that truth. Join me in demanding that Trump meet with Mueller and answer his questions.
Yeah, so just think, he was speaking out against Trump, and just like anyone else who becomes trendy that speaks out against Trump dies. Just want to point that out.
Hollywood is mourning Rob Reiner and his wife Michelle Singer Reiner after the couple was found dead on December 14th at their Brentwood home in what police are investigating as an apparent homicide. Their passing was confirmed by a spokesperson for the family. It is with profound sorrow that we announce the tragic passing of Michelle and Rob Reiner. We are heartbroken by this sudden loss, and we ask for privacy during this unbelievably difficult time, the statement read. Multiple outlets, including CNN and the Los Angeles Times, reported December 14th that law enforcement sources said that a family member was being interviewed in connection with the deaths. Booking records obtained by Access Hollywood the next morning confirmed that the Reiner's 32-year-old son, Nick Reiner, was being held in police custody on a $4 million bond. After news broke of Rob and Michelle's deaths, tributes began to pour in from fellow artists as well as political figures. Former President Barack Obama sent his and wife Michelle Obama's condolences as he wrote on X early Monday morning. Michelle and I are
okay. Anyway, so that's pretty much where that's it. Everyone is mourning his death. He spoke out against Trump, and he died. Like anyone else who speaks, well, not anyone else, but the number is pretty high and suspicious. So everyone else, as you heard, said their condolences, what you're supposed to say. And if you don't know this person or you don't like this person, then don't say anything at all. Just put RIP or that's it. You don't have to say anything because you don't even know the person. Just say RIP and that's it. Even if you don't like the person, just RIP, whatever. Here's what Trump said, who used to get any and everything he wants in his way because, he don't be held accountable for a goddamn thing. This is what he said. He said, a very sad thing happened last night in Hollywood. Rob Reiner, tortured and struggling, but once very talented movie director and comedy star, has passed away together with his wife, Michelle, reportedly due to the anger he caused others through his massive, unyielding, and incurable affliction with mind-crippling disease known as Trump derangement syndrome, sometimes referred to as TDS. He was known to have driven people crazy by his raging obsession of President Donald Trump. Did you write this? With his obvious paranoia reaching new heights as the Trump administration surpassed all goals and expectations of greatness. Is he delusional? And with the golden age of America upon us, perhaps like never before, may Rob and Michelle rest in peace. Are you fucking kidding me? This SOB basically lynched this man and just said, oh, rest in peace. And then he's speaking to himself in the third person. Did he even type this shit? I mean, we need to seriously consider that Trump has some serious freaking mental cognitive issues, and it needs to be addressed. How many, don't even impeach this SOB. Just go ahead and say the election was rigged and get some deal with freaking Elon Musk. Okay, I'm sure you can work out some deal with this fool. So he can spill the tea what the hell he did, give him free immunity or some bullshit, so he can spill all the tea on why this election was rigged, so we can get him and all the SOBs out, or he gonna drag freaking America into war and into poverty, into a serious depression that may not be able to recover from. Stop sitting around waiting for a miracle. Stop praying to Jesus, who's not coming back, by the way. He was a messenger, not a divinity god, but whatever. Start believing in yourselves, okay? Not him. Gosh. So here's what a true president said. Michelle and I are heartbroken by the tragic passing of Rob Reiner, his beloved wife, Michelle. Rob's achievements in film and television gave us some of our most cherished stories on screen. But beneath all of the stories he produced was a deep belief in the goodness of people and a lifelong commitment to putting that belief into action. I just pretty much said that. Together, he and his wife lived lives defined by purpose. They will be remembered for the values they championed and the countless people they inspired. We send our deepest condolences to all who love them. Beautiful. This is what a true president is supposed to say, not the narcissistic, hateful shit that y'all president fucking said. Not my goddamn president. That's y'all stupid motherfucking president. I'm going to put that shit on out there. So we're going to salute that with that. Boom. Let's salute that because he deserved that right there. That was beautiful, 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 beautiful. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Now, moving right along here. And yes, he said that about, he got some issues, as you saw there. He got some fucking issues. Trump is nuts. He is nuts. He is nuts. He is freaking nuts. Okay? Just want to point that out. Here's what other people of the celebrity world said about that hateful, disgusting comment that Trump brought forth. He's supposed to be the president. Here's what they said.
For Trump to have put that out today, I'm going to say it. You know, damn it, there's an American family grieving. Yeah. This is a tragedy, not just for the family, but for all who knew and loved him. And for the president of the United States to make this about him and a way to attack Rob Reiner because he exercised his American right to speak up with what he disagreed with is shameful, is disgraceful. And out of all the disgusting things that Donald Trump has done, this is right up there.
I concur.
Donald Trump just mocked the murder of Rob Reiner and his wife. Rob Reiner was a famous Hollywood director, political activist, actor. He and his wife were murdered yesterday, allegedly by his son, who was just arrested. And Trump decided to mock it and suggest that Reiner brought the murder on himself because he was anti-Trump. Folks, there has to be a point at which people say enough of this stuff.
Some people still commended on this comment.
They're not worse than anybody said about Charlie Kirk. Nobody of any stature said anything of this magnitude about Charlie Kirk, and people lost their jobs. The right went crazy. Yet Rob Reiner is murdered with his wife. Brutally, horrific story, guys. And Donald Trump basically is gloating about it. Trump said, hey, let's make fun of it. Let's make a joke about it. Let's write a parody, a satire, right? Let's joke about the fact that he got killed because he was mean to me. This guy is human garbage. There's really nothing else to say about him.
Right? Get him out of here. Stop bullshitting.
He'll be gone, and we'll all get to write his episode.
Stop bullshitting.
A bunch of MAGA fans are abandoning Donald Trump and calling him out for his disgusting post on the passing of Rob and Michelle Reiner. I'm sure you've all seen this post by now where Donald Trump tried to say that Rob Reiner's death was because of TDS, Trump Derangement Syndrome, when he was killed in his home, and some Trump fans are not happy about it. This is the comment section under that post. This person says, I respect you so much, but this was heartless and uncalled for. You could have just said RIP, love you, Mr. President, but none of the other stuff was needed. It's very sad. we are living in the world we are right now. Come on, Mr. President, not appropriate thing to write. The editor-in-chief of Christianity Today magazine said how this vile, disgusting, and immoral behavior has become normalized in the United States is something our descendants will study in school. One of Donald Trump's former lawyers said this is not the appropriate response. A Turning Point USA contributor said Trump really said, quote, how can I make this horrific murder of a father and mother about me? Shake my head, shameful. And there are many more examples. When even MAGA is calling out Donald Trump, you know he's done something bad.
Shocking, because I thought they were seriously brainwashed by the man. All right, now ending this, we're going to do something real quick here. Okay? But I'm just going to say this. Let me go back.
It's a stunt.
I'm just going to say this. Okay? Let's take away something from this horrific experience. Trump used Reiner death to tag his political views, framing it as a result of Trump derangement syndrome. He even gave it an initial, TDS. His comments stood out because most other leaders responded with condolences and respect, while Trump remarks were widely criticized as tone deaf and inflammatory. If I was his family, I would sue his sorry ass. But, you know, good luck on that sue thing, because it's literally a long list of people trying to sue him right now. And it's going nowhere. He fired most of the federal people. Seriously. He's trying to shape the federal government so it can be easy for him to get elected again. You know how all this can go away? Call the election rigged, kick them all out, throw all of their asses in jail. Call Elon Musk and work out a deal with him. Considering everything is going right now, I guarantee if you get this man free immunity, he'll tell you everything you need to know. I would. And then he'll become so freaking rich afterwards. But that's just my opinion when it comes to Elon Musk. I don't even know who's listening to this, considering hackers that got me seriously on their own freaking Wi-Fi because they're some greedy, lazy, sick son of a bitches. So may you all just die. Anyway, in ISIS name. So let's start with this. We're going to talk about brain food. It's going to be real quick, and I'm going to end it here. So there's definitely going to be a part 2, maybe. Here's a sneak peek of what's coming up. It looks like the church is really trying hard to attract more people, since a lot of folks are getting spiritual. They become more spiritual instead of the traditional religion. So you're ready for semantic schemes and questionable biblical evidence about the so-called Messiah. It'll be pretty much surprising. It'll be surprising that folks might actually buy into it. So, because I'm seeing people in the comments are buying into the whole propaganda of them proving that shroud was fake. They took a fictitious image of Jesus. Have we pretty much debunked that was the Pope's son? Okay, one of the old Pope's son, who was a homicidal maniac. Okay, that's been proven. That's a fact. That's fact. That's in records. They took a digital image and created a fake shroud because when it was dissected, they found the digital imprint of the shroud. Now, people would say, oh my gosh, the shroud is advanced beyond measures. He has this cosmic powers. We are not in Age of Pisces anymore. We are literally in eclipse of the Age of Pisces and Aquarius. Why are people still acting stupid? This proves that the image, the shroud, was fake. There was a fictitious digital imprint. What the hell is wrong with you dumbass people? So anyway, so the shroud found ages has some kind of digital imprint. That just look, the point is the shroud was fucking fake. Okay, I don't know how many times I gotta say this shit. For someone with some advanced machine to get the digital fake imprint of that shroud proves that it's fake. No way in Sam hell a shroud that was laid on him would have this digital picture on it if it was just literally covered with blood. Use your brains, you stupid fucks. Okay, the shroud was fake, which I said initially anyway. Here's a video I did about that fake ass shroud.
It's astonishing how they seem to be making sincere and misleading nonsense I've ever encountered. The church is eager to maintain people's confusion and compliance. They've digitally taken a well-known image of Jesus and crafted a counterfeit shroud from it. Impressive.
Very impressive. And I actually did a video about this. I did. Of debunking how they were able to make this fake ass shroud. I forgot, I don't know how old this video was. And I just remembered that I actually remembered how I did this video. We're going to leave it out with this as soon as it plays. Here we go. There you guys go.
In the closing here, okay, this may piss off some of you, but I don't give a damn. This is the truth show, and I'm going to be true to you. You are getting Kiki and Keisha.
I am still authentic. I'm still the same.
As you guys have heard, Yeshua, it's 4:30. Yeshua / Jesus, shroud or cloak. Remember that was discovered allegedly. Y'all remember that, right? I know y'all remember that cloak that was discovered. You know, we're going to get into this cloak or shroud that was allegedly covered. Now, do you all remember the cloak that was recovered or discovered, whatever, of Jesus / Yeshua, that they claimed looked like the fake fictitious Jesus / Yeshua? That has been confirmed to be, remember, the image of Jesus / Yeshua was a fictitious image from at the time, okay? And you guys understand this because I don't think you understand. I think you guys are seriously lost here for real. Okay? At the time of Pope the Fourth. Pope Alexander the Fourth of Rome. It was literally his sixth son, who is called Caesar Borgia, however you want to pronounce it. Okay? Caesar Borgia. That was the son of the Pope Alexander the Fourth of Rome, who posed as Christ in 1492 because they wanted the image, even though the depiction of Christ was in the Bible and the characteristic of Christ allegedly was in the Bible already. But remember, this was during when they were starting to whitewash everything. And he wanted people to, think that these images of Caucasians who was doing crazy, disgusting, horrific things back in those days were doing it for the safety and the soul saving of them. I kill you, I rape you to save yourself. Convert to Christianity or die in hell. I mean, it's literally. So he chose his son, Caesar Borgia, to pose as the image of Jesus Christ, and his son was sick, which is conveniently during the height of the conversion transition of Christianity. And when they started killing people who were not following the way of their faith. You got killed. You got lynched. You either follow this faith or be damned the consequences. And then pray to this image. This is your Jesus. Now, no one actually physically saw Jesus. No. I mean, the disciples didn't give, their input in the Bible. No. They didn't give their input in the Bible. It was on the behalf or in the possible words or whatever of John, Matthew, whatever, disciples of Yeshua. They didn't give those testaments in the Bible. It was just in the name of or something like that to get people to believe it. That is a fact. Okay. Now, this was also when there were many wars at the time. You can actually look up all the wars. Many wars during the 1400s. Wars was going crazy, especially in England. I mean, they were killing and acting like crazy, sick, psycho people. They got a lot of blood on their hands, man. The karma on them is going to be worse than the crap that's going on in America. I mean, gosh. I hope I'm around to see it too. Now, however, getting back to the cloak and the shroud or whatever they want to claim this thing is. Okay? Now, this is Pope Alexander IV. This is his son here. Can y'all tell here? Look at the nose. Look. See the nose? Y'all see the nose, right? Look at that. Look at the eyes. The little slant thing. You see that? For real. Look at the nose goes down. That's his son. Yeah. He had his son pose for that picture. And he forced Leonardo da Vinci to put him in the Last Supper to seal the deal. I'm not getting into the race of Leonardo da Vinci because that really pissed you off. Anyway, so they did find this Shroud somewhere in Africa, somewhere where the population is predominantly dark people, just like in China and Asia. A lot of history being unfolded in those areas as well, where they are hiding. You know, there's a lot of pyramids been found in China. They've been hiding a lot of stuff down there because no one's out there.
Now, here is my depiction on it on the Shroud. I did a digital enhancement of the Shroud, but I think the Shroud was more so. I think the Shroud that they digitally enhanced were not the original Shroud that was originally brought forth. I think they seriously digitally enhanced another Shroud and made it look like the Cesar Borgia, what the fuck his name is. That's what I think they did. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to dissect the original Shroud, not the Shroud that they digitally enhanced to make it look like some Caucasian, whatever, flowing hair knucklehead. But so this is what I'm saying.
To call them out on it, and they kill anyone who try to come up with any business down there. They're really territorial down there. I mean, my gosh, it's crazy in China, for real. Especially for people of us, you know, who's holding the threat to find out what they've been hiding. You know, anyone who's not a threat, who don't care. We are just a huge threat, apparently. So they want us to believe that conveniently this Shroud or cloak, okay, look just like the fictitious image of this Cesare Borgia. Okay? And it's supposed to be the image of Jesus, aka Yeshua. What did it? I mean, let's look closer at this alleged cloak here. Now, this is the cloak. The original capixelated, whatever, darkening contrast to this cloak before they doctored it.
See?
Okay? Which is not hard to do. Okay? As you can see the whips on his body, even though a lot of them got whipped and lynched like this back in those days, but whatever. And the little shroud vines on his head. But let's look at this part here. What does this part look like to you? Does this look like a pointy nose like the Cesare Borgia? Or the fictitious Jesus image that we was forced to think they were holding glorified, like some Caucasian Yeshua is going to be with equality of all races? Give me a fucking break. Especially back in those days. I mean, no. So look, what shape does the nose look like to you? Does this look like a pointy nose like Cesar? No. It looks like a wide set nose here. You see the wide set nose here? You see that? Just like this image here. Literally. Just like this image here. See that? Wide nose. Lip, mustache. Actually, damn near mirror images. Dreads. Mustache. This is a wide set nose here. Eyes look kind of swollen. This is the image of a black man. A Negro man. A colored man. Not the Caucasian image they tried to make us believe of Cesar. Okay, here's the image they got from this obvious whatever Cesar. Okay, remember this wide nose. You see the wide nose right here? It's clear as day. Wide nose. You see it right there. Clear as day. Clear as day. Wide nose. Clear as fucking day. This is the image of a Negro man, a black man, an African man. Exactly. A brother's been beaten. Exactly. But now this is the original image before it was doctored. Keep that in mind. Screenshot if you want to. Okay. This is during the age of Pisces and Virgo. The age of false faith, blind faith, and idolatry. Where we just believe anything. You know what I mean? But anyway, but look at this. You saw that image. Now, I put them side by side so you guys can see it here. Why no? This is the image of a black man. Clear as day. How did they get that in this? The nostrils are clearly right here. These are the nostrils. Nostril. Matter of fact, well, kind of like my nostrils actually. Right, well, not white as his, but you know what I'm saying. These are clearly the nostrils right here. They got that and got this. That so happened to look like Caesar Borgia. Or Borgia, I'm sorry. Get down what his name is. But look, where's the nostrils here? Where's the nostrils? Where are they? Oh, those are just dents. No, those are nostrils, baby. They got, conveniently, the fake image of Jesus from that cloak. No one questioned it. When I first saw this on TV, I told my husband, that looked like a black man in there. Well, what is this? I was like, oh, whatever. I mean, I had to go to work. I didn't make a big deal about it, but it stayed in my mind. They got that from this. This so happened to look like the fictitious image of Caesar Borgia. Sorry, I said keep it Georgia, but it's Borgia. Seriously? Wow. Here's another look at it. See, this is the real image right here. Real image. Many people got lynched this way. Could have been anybody's. They got that, and so it happened. He literally, okay, where's the webs? What? He literally took a fictitious current image of this Borgia, whatever, person. Sorry about that. And put it on here and say, this is who this is. This is what happens when you get racist people who don't do research. These fools think in the Bible when the stars fall, there be asteroids. They didn't even believe in space in those years. They believe it wasn't no Pluto or Saturn or any planets. They didn't believe in that. Stars were just stardust. That's what they were. The only thing they believe in is the moon and the sun. That's the only thing they believe in. And the firmament. There was no planets. That was all Nicholas Copernicus. So I don't know where we get asteroids from. Stars were equivalent to the gods and goddesses and whoever elevated themselves to be idolized back in those days. They thought when they died, they'd become, stardust. They equivalent themselves to stars in the sky. It wasn't nothing else to look at back then. They went to the point of making up stories about stuff like Orion Belt and Jeuss and blah. Wasn't nothing else to do. We still talk about those stories right to this day. Doesn't mean they're true. It's because what else can you do? Sit there in the dark looking at stars. Make up stories. But that's literally what it was. So they say when this sixth seal is broken or whatever the case may be, stars and asteroids are going to fall from the sky. You want us to believe these idiots who think stars are actual, stars, to be so dumb and so naive, even though the Bible clearly depicts the depiction of this alleged Jesus, which could be anybody. It was a lot of messengers back then. Okay, they want us to believe that this fictitious image was proven as a fact to be fake. So happened to look like the Shroud when it clearly looks like a brother. It clearly looks like a black man. Are we sipping stupid juice? Whatever. Don't get me talking about history because you know me, I go deep. Sister know a lot of things, okay? And don't get me talking about gravity because that'll be a whole nother mathematical subject. But this is what I'm saying here. They lie about this fraud and they need to be ousted. They need to be seriously ousted. And I'm going to end it here. Okay? Do your own research. Enjoy the link. It definitely was whitewashed. T-Line. Enjoy your link. Enjoy that link. Look through that project 2025. It is so sick. Make a video about it on your TikTok. Share. And don't forget to donate. The link is pinned to the comment section. And thank you for staying to watching this video. Surprised they haven't cut me off like they always do. Hey, don't miss out. Click the subscribe and like button. Also, don't forget the bell button and then select all so that you can get notifications for every video I upload on the Truth Show channel and the Truth Show channel Deluxe Never miss out, y'all.
Oh, let's set it there. I like that. It was nice. Very nice. Very nice. Let's see here. How should I end this? Patriot. Whatever, sure. Here's a brief word from my sponsor.
The world's falling apart. Every day, another shocking headline makes you wonder what tomorrow will bring. That's why those who knows what's coming are using today to prepare. I'm talking about getting your family some high-quality emergency food from My Patriot Supply. My Patriot Supply is a nation's leading preparedness company. They've been in business for going on 14 years now, and they've served millions of American families. Now they want to help you by giving you $50 off their popular 4-week emergency food kit. Oh yes, you get 4 weeks of food per person with meals designed to give you more than 2,000 calories a day. By the way, this food stays fresh up to 25 years in proper storage, so it will be there when you need it. Other food goes bad first, you know what I mean? So don't wait. Go to Prepare with my link with the truth and claim your 4-week emergency food kit. You'll save $50 per kit if you act now. So prepare with me at preparewithtruth.com. Don't wait. Do it today, y'all.